Yeah, recording. Okay, so this is we will going through like now it is almost like 10 to 4. So first of all, we'll going to discuss about a few things about a ROM. Okay, as we seen like yesterday. So device and what is the purpose of device and about the related things. And next, already I told there is a few devices are very important to know about a hardware related one. So look at here. So yesterday we discussed about your basic hardware components and all like this. So today we are going to discuss your ROM. Already we discussed about RAM and ROM. ROM is a non-volatile memory. It is nothing but a chip. Okay, the data and instructions in a chip. Simply a chip, bun into a chip. Actually, that is called a bun into a chip. Okay, it is bun into a chip. So that is a very simple form of saying like it is a ROM. Okay, a lot of people like generally we in the term we call it as a permanent memory, non-volatile memory like that. It is nothing but a simple chip. So when the manufacturing happens to the ROM, so they burn all the data into it. So they fix the data. Okay, it is not a permanent data kind of stuff or anything. Just it's a chip with something which is inside. There is a something which is inside. Okay, so what is this data and instructions? So simply say a program, right? It is nothing but a program in the chip. ROM chip is called as firmware. It's called as firmware. We have a different type of firmwares. Our firmwares we call it as a BIOS, basic input output devices. Basic input output devices. So this is one kind of firmware. It is a old firmware. Still we are using that one. So what is it? I said basic input.
That is firmware or fireware, sir.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have mistake is spelling mistake. Firmware or a firmware or a firmware. Okay, firmware or a firmware. Anything like a tomato type only for spelling. Sorry, thanks for correction. I type correct only here. I change it here. Firmware or a firmware. FIRM firmware. Okay. So any device, if you take any device, the device has this firmware. Device has the firmware. So you want to spell this one like you have to spell. Firmware. Okay, but firmware. Okay, so you can get it. Okay, so what is this firmware? It is every device. Like you have a basic mobile phone or an advanced mobile phone, smart mobile phone, computer, laptop, AC, like that. Anything is when you power on the system, whenever you power on it. So how to function when you power on the device, how to function, what is the first function it has to do, that will be defined by firmware only. So different firmwares are there. Now in our computer, in a old days, we have a BIOS. Still, we have a BIOS. Next type of firmware is UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Unified Extensible Firmware or Firmware Interface. What I'm typing? UEFI. In some places, you can see EFI. Only EFI you will see EFI. EFI or UEFI both are same. UEFI, EFI. So nowadays we are using a mostly 64-bit systems, and the firmware, our firmware is now we are getting a new version is UEFI based only. Okay, so very simply say UEFI is update version of your BIOS. Update version of your BIOS. Okay, so there is some differences are there, like a secure boot is there, 64-bit support. Okay, like that, certain features of UEFI is there, but simply like there's a names. Okay, so we don't go again. If you go there, then it is so many things. Okay, it's okay. So what is this firmware? The firmware is in your ROM chip. So different type of firmware names are different. Okay, but function is almost same only. Okay, BIOS and UEFI for a normal computers. Every device having a firmware. What is a firmware? When we start a device, means it can be a PC or a laptop, okay, or maybe a server, or maybe a mobile phone, or maybe a iPad type, iPhone type, iPad type, iPads. It means only walkie type. So what we can say, yeah, music systems, Sony Music, Sony Music kind of stuff. AC type, AC cooling systems, air conditioner kind of stuff. Okay, like this. If you start any device, okay, when you start a device, it can be a computer and all. So it defines how to start. How to start. Which one is defined? Your firmware will define that one. Where it is located? In your ROM chip only. Where the ROM chip is located? On your motherboard only. ROM chip is on your motherboard only. So now it's not motherboard only. But this ROM chip is a different developments is there. ROM is means read-only memory. Of course, we know that one. But these ROM chips are fixed chips. These ROM chips are fixed chips. Can you put a question? Okay, Chanda, again, I attend all meeting, but unfortunately, I got removed from the batch 7 WhatsApp group. Please add me. I'm not a admin of batch 7. Okay, Chandodai, what you do? Just spoke with Ravan sir or Ruxana madam,
Okay,
who
sir.
is your handling. So ask them like you are attended. Okay, maybe because of
Okay,
the
sir.
randomly lot of people are not joined kind of stuff. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
it happens. Okay.
How can I contact, sir?
You can, Ravan sir, right? Ravan sir or Ruxana madam, which one you know?
Yes, yes, sir. But I got removed from the WhatsApp group, so I cannot send the message, sir.
No, through group you cannot send, but you know the contact, how to contact. How do you contact Ruxana madam or Ravan sir?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, automatically, like send a mail. You got a mail from the
Okay,
7.
sir. Okay, sir. I got. Okay, sir. I have number 11, sir. Number, sir. Okay, sir.
Ravan sir number or Ravan sir email ID. Send a mail like
Okay, sir.
we are so number from your batch. Like you got remote. Okay,
Okay, sir.
it's very simple.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
What is this PROM? It is they will give you a okay, so they'll give you a empty chip, so you can program it also. Programmable. Okay, programmable ROM chip. It means you can take the PROM chip and you can able to program it once. So programmable chip. Okay. So different ways you can able to program it. So we can able to programmable your ROM chip. Means it's a empty chip. You can program it using a actually ultraviolet trace. Next one is a PROM chip is there. A PROM chip is there. Erasable programmable read-only memory is there, but electrically erasable read-only memory is there. Both are there. This is a PROM chip we are using. We are using this EEPROM chip for our BIOS chip. So this is called a electrically erasable PROM chip, programmable read-only memory. So this kind of stuff we are using. Okay, just for adding up. But remember, guys, ROM read-only memory, permanent memory, data stores permanently. Data stores permanently. So data or instructions is burned into the chip directly. Okay. So it is a only readable chip type. Once it is done, it is readable chip only. So that's the program. Whatever the program inside of this chip, we call it as a firmware or firmware. Okay. And that's a different type of firmwares are there nowadays. It is a BIOS and UEFI type. So UEFI is nothing but update version of your BIOS. Okay. Next, when you start any devices, okay. So when you start a device, automatically our firmware will define how to start. Firmware defines how to start because every time it will happens. Okay. Next is always a PROM chip or a ROM chip is always on your motherboard only. That's the first part. Next, so you have a firmware, and I said a firmware is a BIOS. Okay, what is the content of the BIOS? Content of this BIOS. So it is details. So simply say information of onboard motherboard. Onboard. Okay, onboard your information of onboard motherboard, chipsets and everything. Okay, so on motherboard what are there? So that is also important. So we'll see on motherboard what are there. See, on motherboard we have a different type of chips, just like a north bridge, south bridge. Okay, next audio chipset, VGA related chipset, VGA socket, VGA chipsets are there. Okay, audio chipset, video chipsets, LAN related, Ethernet connection related chipsets, power supply connectors, okay, data connectors, front panel connectors, front panel related connectors, like a PC front panel connectors, like that. RAM slots, CPU slot, socket. Okay, so like that, there is so many things are there. So we better go once with your motherboard. Go with the motherboard. See, this is a different type of motherboards. You can look at this motherboards. See, different types is there. You can see this is the motherboard, and this is CPU sockets, RAM slots, ATX power connections, PCS slots. Okay, and on board there is a different type of chipsets also there. Okay, so audio, video chipsets, back panel connections. What are the back panel connections? PS by 2, mouse or keyboard connections. Mouse and keyboard connections, PS by 2, USB connections, VGA, monitor connections, HDMI connector, parallel port. What are it is? It's a serial port. Okay, parallel port, serial port, LAN connector. LAN means RJ45 connector. LAN will connect it to RJ45. Okay. LAN connector, RJ45 connector, mic and speaker. Line in connector. These are the back panel connections. Okay, you want to see once again the motherboard with the back panel connection type. Okay. Okay, see, you can see here it is. This is the picture. I have a picture. I have a picture. Sorry. I have a picture. This is about your motherboard. You can see different slots, memory slots, expansion slots, IO slots, chipsets. Okay, IDE, SATA connectors, floppy disk drive connectors, Cmos batteries, power supply connector, heat sinks. Okay, like this. You can see the back panel connections also. You can see from here. These are the back panel connections. PS by 2, mouse connector, keyboard connector, parallel port connector. Okay, location. Okay, parallel port connector, serial port connector, VGA connector, HDMI connector. Okay, USB connectors, audio jack connectors. Okay, like this. You can see different type of connector series look like this one. Okay, these are the on motherboard RAM slots. How it is look like RAM slot. How we can insert it. This is a North Bridge chip and a South Bridge chip on your motherboard. Nowadays, North Bridge and South Bridge is combinedly become a single chip only. But what is the purpose of this North Bridge? North Bridge purpose is to make a communication between processor and RAM only. North Bridge is to make a communication between processor, RAM, and from IO device to RAM. That's only communication. RAM and processor communications related issues. It will take care by North Bridge. South will be take care of other peripherals. Means ISO, the IO port number, okay, PCI slots, AGB slots, data connectors like a hard disk connectors, USB connectors. That entire communication will be taken care by South Bridge only. Okay, that is the chipsets. North Bridge, South Bridge. These are the different connectors, like a IDE SATA type of connectors on it. This is the Cmos battery. I will explain that one. Okay, these are the different power connectors from the SMPS. Okay, so different SMPS are there in the market. Usually we are using a 24 pin. Okay, this is the old type. They are giving 80x. Now we are getting 80x 24 pin plus another separate pin is coming. That is a 4 or a 6 or 8 pin connectors for a CPU. Separate connector is coming. Okay, so if you are buying a new desktop and you want to buy a SMPS, you get a different connectors. So this is a big one is motherboard connector, power connector. This is for a CPU connector. Both will connected to your motherboard only. These two are connected to your motherboard only. Okay. Get correct information or a more accurate information, current informations. Better one is always Amazon. Okay, go to your Amazon kind of stuff. So you go to like this Amazon.com. Here last time I build one desktop, but I plan to build another one. Okay. So this is an SMPS, you can see. Okay, like this. These are the wires and connectors. This is the wattage of it. So I will explain it. No problem. See, this is your motherboard. You can see here, this is the motherboard. This is the 12 volts CPU connector, power connector. Okay, from SMPS. So if you see this one, these are the RAM slots. These are RAM slots, and you can see this is SMPS power connector. And if you see, these are a SATA connector. These are a SATA connector. The white one, that white one is either it is north bridge, south bridge, or combined north bridge, south bridge kind of stuff. Okay. Here it is front panel connectors. No. This is waste. This is a better. Okay. Okay. You can see this is the you can see there is a crab symbol in the bottom. So I'm see. Okay. So that part is particularly your audio chips. Other chipsets you can see small chips. This is the LAN guard is nothing but a LAN related one. LAN related one. This is a Cmos battery. BIOS chip is maybe that is also integrated somewhere. So that's in a certain motherboards you can't locate the regular chipsets as a old one. So here it is. Some of the ICs are there. Okay, so like that. And these are the back panel. You can see this is the back panel. So PS by 2, PS by 2, two connectors are one for a keyboard, one for a mouse. This is VGA port. This is a mini HDMI. These two are mini HDMI, normal HDMI only, I think. Yeah, normal HDMI only. This is the VGA. What is VGA? Video graphic array. So for a normal monitor purpose, HDMI like a smart mobiles, sorry, smart screens like a TVs. You can connect it to TV or HDMI connected oriented monitors. Next series USB connectors. The blue one is a 3.0 version. The black one is 2.0 version. Your gigabit LAN connector, RJ45 connector it is. These are the audio connector, mic, speakers, and the line-in connectors. So this is about your basic motherboard. What is there on your motherboard? So only one point. See, if you see this one, straight one. If you see this like a Prime A320M, that's something is there, no? That is called a AGP. Like you can insert a graphic card in it. Graphic card. This is for a graphic card purpose. Earlier we have a big PCS slots. Now we have a mini PCS slot, PCX slots, express slots are there. And this specific one, Yeah, exactly. This one. This is a PCIe X64 SATA V, and this side you can see this specifically. This is for a SSD connection. SSD connection where my the pointer you can't get it like this is the pointer you can see that magnifier pointer. I'm taking pointer where the magnifier pointer is there. So that is for connecting SSD M.2 version. M.2 SSDs we can able to connect. So this is the main CPU is going to inside of this one only. Okay, like that. So better go for any of your Amazon. Go to Amazon is easy because e-commerce website having a products directly. So not a futuristic products. So directly available in the market wise products you will have, and you can see this is a earlier I showed 4 pin. If you see this one, this is not 4 pin. This is 8 pin connector. Okay, like this. Like this. So this is about a motherboard. All motherboard details are stores in your BIOS chip. Okay, information of onboard motherboard details. Exactly say all details. All details. Okay, all details stores in your BIOS. Next, I already had completed motherboard. Okay, so motherboard is we can connect it to everything. Next, connected to motherboards. Okay, so whenever you on motherboard chipsets are there. Next, few things we are connected to our motherboard. What are the things we can connect to motherboard? CPU are connecting, RAM you are connecting, everything we are connecting. RAM is you are connecting. Okay, hard disk you are connecting. Okay, you are connecting SSDs. You are connecting a CD or a DVD. You are connecting, right? Correct. Connecting to your motherboard. On the motherboard, you are connecting CPU and RAM mainly. Next, you are connecting to your hard disk, CD-RAM, like this. Next, you are connecting USB front panel. What I am typing. Okay. Okay, front panel connectors like you are connecting hard disk, CD-RAM, CPU like this, right? You are connecting. So whenever you connect it, so actually better to remove this one. So whenever you connect these devices and power on the system, okay, you are connecting to motherboard. When you connecting these devices and power on the system, your BIOS chip gather the information of the devices. Okay, so it will gather the information of the devices. So next one, it stores some data. Another some more data. So onboard motherboard details, permanent details are there. So no problem, no change in that one. So why it is ting 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 making a noise, but we didn't. Oh, Swati is there. Okay, Swati, 6 or 7. Or belongs to 6th batch or 7th batch. Swati. Okay, I'm putting currently in the 7th batch. So if you are not belongs to it, please tell me. I put you as into 7th batch. Put it in a chat box, no problem. 6th or 7th? Okay, very good. Okay, guys. Onboard motherboard information and the devices we are directly connected on motherboard like CPU, RAM, hard disk, SSD, DVD kind of stuff. When you power on the system, so BIOS chip gather the information of the devices and store in it. Okay, and stores it. Next, certain settings like a boot priorities. Boot priority. Okay, what are the spellings? Yeah, why today afternoon? That too. Correct only. So boot priority, or we can also call the boot menu list will be there. So what is this boot priority or boot menu list is like this. When I power on the system, okay, so from where? So when system is power on, where operating system will load will defined by boot priority. Priority means it's nothing but order. Boot priority, boot menu, boot order, all the names are same, guys. Okay, all the names are same. So when system is power on, from where the operating system will be loaded. So what is this? We'll see it is. For example, my priority order is CD DVD. Okay. Next, for example, next order is hard disk. Next priority is removable disk. Next one is we'll go to network. Okay. So what is this boot order? Okay. So what is this boot order? Okay, so first of all, system try to load operating system from CD or DVD. If it is not there, it try to load operating system from hard disk. If it is also not there, then you'll try to load the operating system from removable disk. Removable disk means pen drives, external hard disk like that. If it is also not there, then it try to load operating system from network. If it is also not there, boot failure. Okay, so unable to load the operating system. See like this again. So when I start my computer, system try to load operating system from CD DVD. Okay. If it is not there, it try to load from the hard disk. Okay. So if it is there, it load operating system. That's it, completed. It won't search in the next two. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Different order. For example, I put this order here. Okay. This order is here. For example, I start my PC. My order is like this. So it's such a operating system from network. Nothing is there. It didn't find. It's such an operating system from the hard disk. Not it find. It's such an operating system from CD-ROM. It is there. So start booting from the CD DVD. It won't go with the next one. Okay. For example, I put a hard disk. My hard disk contains operating system. My hard disk is operating system is there, but I given a priority like this. And CD-ROM has some operating systems. DVD is there. Operating system. Windows 10 DVD is there. Operating system DVD is also there. Okay. Operating system DVD is there, also there. Hard disk contains operating system. CD also having a operating system. I start my computer. It check the operating system from hard disk first. It is there, booted. That's it. It won't check in other locations. For example, hard disk does not have operating system. Fresh computer. CD, you put a operating system CD in CD drive. So what it will happen? First it will verify in a hard disk, next in network, next in CD-ROM, then load operating system from CD-ROM only. So this is called a boot order. Boot order priority means it will, you can load operating system from any of this list based on the order. First come, first serve type. Okay, simply say it is serve type only. Means if you have a OS here, that's it, completed. Okay, like this. This is the one more information is there. In a BIOS, one more thing is there, that is called a date and time. Source, date and time, settings like enable or disable features, hardware features. Things like enable, disable of a hardware feature, something like that. Okay. BIOS password, BIOS user passwords. Guys, that is not your computer passwords. Okay. For example, Windows 10, in my Windows 10, I have a password, but that password is not this password. This is a BIOS related one. So you want to see once how the BIOS is look like, I will show you. It's a 430. Just I will show you the BIOS. That's it. Not this one. So don't. I should not open that one. So yeah, here it is. For you, I created a virtual machine without any operating system. Okay. So I am starting a virtual machine. Okay, no problem. See what it is doing. Actually, it's searching operating system from network device because hard disk does not have an operating system. As such, last one is that one only. Okay. So Alt Control Insert. Yeah, very good. So I am pressing again Alt Control Insert, guys. So what you will do? See shortly when you see the VMware logo. VMware, you see a VMware. In a bottom there is a line. It's like a press F12 to startup or F2 to like that it is showing. So look at that one. See, press F2 to enter setup. Press F2 to enter setup. Press F12 for network boot. Press F12 for network boot. Escape for a boot menu. Press escape for a boot menu. Understand, guys? So I want to go to BIOS. I want to go to BIOS. So my system is telling how to go to BIOS by pressing F2. By booting, I press the F2 button. Now this is my BIOS screen. This BIOS is by Phoenix. BIOS chip manufacturers are different. So different manufacturers are there for a BIOS. So BIOS manufactured by. Okay, who is what happening? It is keep disconnecting. Okay, people are already joined. Those requests only coming and again and again. Maybe it is disconnecting itself. For me, it is not happening because for testing purpose, parallelly I connected to my tab also. Okay, tab is also there. So I want to know the screen sharing is good or not. I don't. Okay. So what is BIOS manufacturers? BIOS manufacturers. AWARD. What? Yami BIOS means American Megatrade Inc. Phonics. Phonics. Dell. Dell. Of course, HP is also doing that one. So main is Dell. Like so many manufacturers are there. These are some of them. Next, how to go to BIOS? How to go to BIOS settings? How to go to BIOS settings? So by at boot time, at boot, press Dell is the most common one is Dell. Earlier days, it is just when we are in intermediate engineer polytechnic like that. So when we join any hardware classes or anything, press Dell. It's a textbook thing. So you have to press start the power button, keep pressing the Dell button. Then only you can go to BIOS. But so many things are changes. Now we got a F2, F10, F12, F11, F9. So like that, different type of are there. Depends upon manufacturer of your BIOS or your company. Like you purchase a laptop. Laptops you want to go Shift F10 sometimes. Okay, not always same. Okay, so next, guys, if you look at here, date and time. Can you see date and time? Next, these are the hard disk. If hard disk is there, it will show which hard disk is connected here. Okay, their details. Next, keyboard features, and this is the system memory. It is showing 640 KB means that is cache memory. Extended memory, that is nothing but your RAM, 2 GB RAM. Okay, next one is advanced. See, these are all related to your chipset, advanced chips control, enable, disable of that features, which operating system you should use it. Okay, which operating system you can able to install it like that. This is the supervisory password, user passwords. This is the boot priority. See, boot priority. Okay, you can change the boot priority by pressing plus and minus kind of stuff. See, like this, like this. Now boot priority is a CD-ROM. Now boot priority is a hard disk. Boot priority is a removable drive. Like I want to load operating system from the pen drive. First put the removable drive as the starting. Next one is hard disk. I want to load operating system through CD-ROM, not with the pen drive. Then CD-ROM must be like that. I want to load operating system from hard disk only. By priority. By priority means it will check the first device. If it is not there, it will go for the second. So once it is fine, it put with it. So that's it. This is your BIOS setting. So in the BIOS, you have a device details, connected device details. Okay. device details, connected device details, their settings also there. Okay, so you can save and exit from here also. You can enable and disable the features of devices, that is also there. Okay, so anything about BIOS? Yeah, the last point about the BIOS thing is, guys, there is some temporary things like settings or data in BIOS. What are there? Date and time. Okay. Settings. Generally, what are the changing your setting? You change the settings. Settings, date and time, password. BIOS password, not our password. BIOS password. What is this BIOS password, user password kind of stuff? If you want to change anything in the BIOS or hardware settings, you want to change it, you cannot change directly because you must know the password. Okay, so these are the temporary. Okay, there are some temporary settings or data, means that it's actually it's a temporary store in BIOS. Okay, there is some data or settings. There is some data or settings temporarily stores in BIOS. Okay, this is the correct one. Next, guys, look at here. It's a temporary. Temporary means whenever the power is off, when power off or turn off, power off or turn off, data, the temp data, temporary data will last, right? That is called temporary. The settings you change, reset to settings, reset to factory default, like your mobile phone factory. Easy example is, if you remember mobile phone, old mobile phone, feature phones. If you remove the battery, automatically all the data, means current calling data, date and time, all these things will be reset back to factory default. Again, you have to configure it. Maybe you can maybe you've seen like any old people or anyone is like you remove the battery for inserting a SIM card. The all the contact means the temporary contacts, date and time, everything will be reset to factory default. Same thing will happen. To protect from deletion of that data, we use a battery. Okay. Again, so this battery made of lithium. Now lithium ion batteries are there now, so it is like a lithium battery. Okay. Also, so this is we call lithium battery. So we can call this one as a BIOS battery. Also called as Cmos battery. Yes, a lot of people think when you hear like a lithium battery, so like it is a BIOS battery, there is a battery and we call that one as a Cmos battery. Immediately they said, what is Cmos? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. BIOS battery also called as Cmos battery. Cmos means complementary semiconductor. It is a semiconductor, guys. It is not a battery technology. It is not a battery technology. Our chips. Chips, what are the name you put it, guys? Lot of people put different names. Chips, ICs. ICs means integrated circuits. My mind is not at all working today. So integrated circuits. Yeah, I see. Okay, you can write like it is integrated circuits, CPU, your RAM, okay, your RAM, your BIOS chips, all are manufactured with the CMOS technologies. Okay, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Because of lithium batteries support your CMOS chips. Okay, lithium 3 volts battery supports CMOS chips. Okay, we call that one as a CMOS battery. Okay, just it is become a terminology. It become outside like it is CMOS battery. Now you go to the market and say like I want 3 volts lithium battery like this particular battery number. They don't understand it. They think you're just something mind disturb kind of. Okay, you should ask a CMOS battery only. That okay. So the battery not made up of CMOS technologies. Guys, once again we can view. So I'll show you that one. This is the BIOS chip is how it is look like on the motherboard. Okay, and of course there is a CMOS battery also. I try to show you. So if possible it is there. I think it is there. Yeah, this is the CMOS battery. So when it is CMOS battery come up, what is CMOS? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Lot of people think it stores the data or it is a battery technology. No, it is a lithium battery which give a power supply to your BIOS chip. Okay, the battery give okay battery give power supply to CMOS. Sorry. Simply say BIOS chip. That is should understand that one. That's it. That's about your motherboard and BIOS. Next one we'll discuss about SMPS. Okay. Next one we'll discuss about SMPS post also. So we'll see the both the thing and the disk also post directly. SMPS and post directly we will discuss. Okay. Power on self test and boot processing directly. Yeah. First we'll discuss SMPS and then we'll go with this one. Guys, take a break. Oh, it is so much time. So take a break. We spend a lot of time on attendance and adjustments only. So no problem. So take a break and back it. 5 o'clock or 5 is better. 5:05. So again, we'll start. Okay. If you want, you can disconnect it and connect it back after 5 o'clock, or you can keep it like that, but mute. Okay. So I'm going to stop this record because otherwise it will record for next 15 minutes also. You can't pause the record. You can stop the record.